Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. The Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on the last Tuesday of August 2022. We're just days away from the Labor Day holiday weekend, the official end of summer. And tonight we have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure. We want to apologize out the gate. We had a guest booked at 7:30 this evening, Miss Linda Odom, book author. Unfortunately, she's unable to join us this evening. But Kay Renee and I, don't worry about it. It happens, darling. It does. But Kay Renee and I are going to do our very best to cover all the latest news, the latest COVID-19 update numbers, and talk about some of the news stories that are trending right now. Sitting in the co-host seat, it's almost permanent for you, I think. You know what I'm saying? Is the one and only Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Good evening, Kay Renee. How are you, my darling? And what's happening?
Good evening. Hi, Nadia. How you doing? You know what, Nadia? You are just awesome on TikTok. I follow you.
She is. Isn't she amazing?
I love her, and I gotta learn my
yes.
voice. She just speaks it just so eloquently and fluently. So
yes,
shout out
yes.
to Miss Nadia, who is our Belgian viewer from Brussels.
Yes,
so
she watches us from Brussels, Belgium. Yes. Or is it Belgium? Brussels.
Right.
Brussels. Okay, over there in Europe.
Over there.
And then we also want to give a big old shout out to our girl, the one and only Miss Pam Morris Walton, our gospel sister. She's watching us via one of our Facebook pages. As you guys all know, Pam does the best gospel music on Sunday mornings on WVON, and we just love and adore her. And she just celebrated an anniversary of her new heart. And so, yes, absolutely. That whole story is just phenomenal. The young man who she got the heart from, I know his dad. And so just beautiful in many ways. We got to have Pam come hang out with us one evening and chit chat and talk about the phenomenal Pam Morris Walton. Yes. Amen. Good to see you tonight, darling. How's everything in your world? What's new?
Well, I was surprised to get this news. I don't know if we're going to top it off, but apparently, the transition train of 2022 has not stopped because.
Well, girl, hold on. Let's not start the show off with death. I was checking on you. So how you doing? What's going on?
The fact that I am alive, the fact that I'm able to speak on my own, the fact that I can be able to be with my big brother in this venue. God is good. I am good.
Yes. One of the things we're going to talk about today is National Grief Awareness Day. I want to kind of talk about how people can combat grief and get around it. So let's save that for later on in the show. We'll kind of talk about who passed away. But I want to set a tone of happiness, good energy to begin this show tonight because we have a lot that we want to cover and talk about. Since this is a health and wellness show, I want to give you guys the latest COVID-19 update numbers that were released. As you guys all know, the COVID-19 update numbers are only released once a week now, and it is a cumulative number of what has happened the past week. Illinois public health officials reported 24,297 new COVID-19 cases over the past week. We had 82 additional fatalities to happen. This is a slight decline in cases from the prior week, as 33 counties in Illinois still remain in the high community level status for COVID-19. The previous week, not this past week, but the week before that, reported 25,084 new cases and 56 deaths. The week before that, so we're looking at 3 weeks from that ago, It was 26,462 new cases with 123 deaths. In all, the state of Illinois has seen 3,670,258 cases of COVID-19 since the beginning of this pandemic. And this is the latest data according to the Illinois Department of Public Health. Unfortunately, we've had 34,677 people die as a result of COVID here in the state of Illinois. So the battle is not over. I know two people right now who are in the hospital battling COVID. They're not on ventilators, but they are battling COVID right now in the hospital as we speak. So this is definitely not over. This is still something that is going on. This is still something that people are catching. I was telling you earlier, I've had some weird, crazy symptoms lately, but I've tested, not COVID, but it's just, I've been feeling funky and weird. So I don't know, what that's about. And I recently went to the doctor and they didn't think anything was wrong. And I know I'm not love stricken. So, I don't know what it is,
Well, I mean, to piggyback what you're saying about COVID, I mentioned this last night. I'll mention it again. For those who want to get COVID tests, Friday is your last day.
Your last day, yes.
So if you want to go on the website, covid.gov, and register to get free, let me say this again, free COVID test. Because as Art indicated, it is not over. Kids are going back to school. Young adults are going back to college. So everyone is going back to normal as we would like to think, but this virus is still prevalent.
It is.
Monkeypox. We talked about polio. A lot of these different viruses and diseases are still out there. So you just got to protect yourself and be, we stress on this show, be your own advocate. Be a strong advocate for you.
That's right. That's right. You never know what is going to happen next. This situation is definitely not over. The First Lady of the United States, she is now tested negative for COVID-19. They reported that yesterday, but she had tested positive. Our president has tested positive twice. A majority of big name people, have all tested positive for COVID. So COVID is not something to be shameful of anymore. It's nothing, oh Lord, I got COVID. Yes, you should take care of yourself. You should do all the right precautionary measures. But, COVID has become a commonplace in our day and age now,
almost like the common cold.
Yes.
Common COVID, common cold. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Crystal Allison says she just returned from the Delta conference and they had to test daily. It's not over. At least one person tested positive there. I can imagine. I really could. Yeah, I can imagine, if not more. I heard that the Q Dogs convention was a petri dish.
Giving back to Deltas, I think, was it last year, their national president, they had a convention and she got sick and unfortunately she transitioned. So,
right.
You just got to be, if you're going to be in those surroundings where there's a lot of people, take precautionary measures. Don't be crazy.
Yes, smart. I couldn't agree more. And the funniest thing is I'm not getting rid of my mask. I actually like my mask. I bought some of the most beautiful masks during this pandemic. And there are certain situations and settings. Because now here's the deal. When I go into a public bathroom now, I try to wear a mask. When I go, for the most part. For the most part, I might be in a restaurant, a bar, or whatever. But if I go to the public bathroom, I'm already a germaphobe. So, honey, I'm standing there in a mask trying to handle my business because I don't want any kind of germs or anything to get on me like that. So that's kind of been the way I live. Yes. Crystal said, they're quiet about whatever it was, COVID, whether it was COVID, though. I had my mask on the whole time. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people, they, especially if it's a big name person, they're trying to be very quiet about the COVID thing. And then unless when you die, your death certificate reports COVID, a lot of times it's not known that you have COVID until the final death certificate comes. Unless it was known that you died from COVID, it's only until your final death certificate comes that, it'll be a situation of that it was COVID, so. Yes.
I agree with you, Marguerite. I like that emoji, but it's like, what the heck?
Yes.
Yeah.
My grandnephew went back
Oh
to school last
no.
week and he has COVID now. Oh, well, Melda, I'm sorry to
We're
hear
sorry.
that. Oh,
We'll
my
keep
God.
you keep him and you in prayer.
Right. Nadia said, yes, it's not over. My employer gave each of us a
There you
box
go.
of 20 tests. Oh, I'm sure. And
Right?
here's the crazy piece. If you don't go ahead and order these free tests by the end of the week, do you know how much them damn tests are in grocery at like big box stores and
Oh, probably
Walgreens?
$100
No, they're about 25, $30. But the
for
point
one
is that,
test.
yes, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look again, but they do have them like at the doorways of, drugstores and places that you go into. And it just makes me wonder, like, why in the hell would I, do that?
And here's the deal. I think Congress. I heard the report there was like I think 1 billion tests were authorized for people to partake. Only 600 million have been used. So come on now, y'all better go to COVID.gov, get your test, but make sure when you do, it does expire. So just keep that
Right,
in mind.
right. Well, another thing that they were saying as well, too, is the reason why they're going to stop this is that they feel it's going to be a huge uptick of COVID cases Thanksgiving, Christmas, into the new year. Keep in mind, this will be the first year where people will be able to come back and have big, lavish holiday parties. This is where, all the mitigations have been released. So they're looking for a huge uptick in cases as a result of Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the new year and the celebrations that people will be doing. So I don't know. It's a catch-22 at this point.
Just again, be smart. That's all I'll tell
you. Give the website one more time so I can put it up on the screen for people.
COVID.gov.
Okay, COVID. And can you spell that COVID, please? COVID. COVID what? COVID.gov. .gov.
And
is that
Gov?
Yes.
G-O-V.
Okay. COVID.
And you see another site that doesn't say that?
Yes.
It's a scam, y'all. That's
do not. COVID.gov. Right.
That's the site.
Yes. Yeah, that's just like a friend of mine told me recently about. She said, she told me about somebody she had been around, whatever, and I went to go look them up, and I went to click on their website. Girl, it was a porn site. I was like, oh, wait a minute, who you? Right. So yes, make sure you go to the right site. Make sure you do. Go COVID.gov, COVID.gov to get more of those free tests. I think they'll ship like 8 of them to you. So please make sure you go do that. COVID.gov. COVID. Yes. All right. Very good. All right. Let's see. COVID.gov. Yes, Pam Morris Walton, you got that right. Ding, 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 ding. You win the prize tonight. All right. Let's continue on in news. Let's save our transitions for your last. Then that way we can go into how to deal with grief, because I got a great conversation on that.
Very good.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Guess what? Well, coming, since you mentioned about Labor Day weekend is coming up and people like to go to the movies. I'm one of them. Well, coming up this weekend, September 3rd, is National Cinema Day. So movie theaters across the United States are offering $3 to see the movies. When's the last time you've been to a movie for $3?
I don't know. Now, one thing I will say, when we do date night, that sounded a little crazy, didn't it?
When we do date night.
When Boo Bear and I do date night, we go on Tuesday when I guess it's $5 Tuesday, or we'll try to get a matinee because of me doing the show in the evening, whatever the case may be. The funniest thing was the moment that this was announced, we're going to the movie Saturday. Hell to the no. I got things to do on Saturday. And here's the deal. It's just going to be too many damn people, because the $3 is going to allow everybody and their mama to be in the movie theater. And I don't know if I'm ready for a crowded movie theater situation again.
I'm not either. I liked, honestly, after, I think, when was it? Maybe it was around June-ish, in 2020. My sisters, we go to Block 37 downtown. Love that theater.
Right.
Because you get the treat.
Nadia said it right. She said you're going to have COVID for $3. Right.
That's right.
Baby, that's the same thing I said.
Doing that.
Yes.
So, but Block 37, I really like, because it's, you have the great seats and recliner seats. They deliver your food to you. I
Right.
like that, and I like the space. I don't like people up on me. Just get away. So, and it's been I'm just trying to think the last time I've been to the movie since the pandemic. I haven't been this year at all. So it's been a minute.
Well, I've been to the movies this year. I went to the movies during the pandemic.
I went with you, as a matter of fact.
I just was at a movie screening last Wednesday
Right.
night, I think it was.
Right.
Not a packed theater. Because of my mobility issues, I sit in the handicap seating, so I know that nobody will be up on me or near me. And it was not a full theater. I was not taking seats away from anybody else. And it was a decent experience. I just don't think I could ever do the full crowded movie theater thing again. Flying on an airplane is risk enough for me at this particular point. So, right.
Well, again, I don't think this coming Saturday I'll be, because wait a minute, we have an event. Don't we have the African Festival?
That's right. Yes, we
that's
do.
That's where I'll be this weekend. So
right. Yes, we'll be at the African Festival. Yes, absolutely. No, we won't get in on the $3 movie ticket.
No,
we'll just have to do it while we're on vacation. Maybe we'll go do a Tuesday night movie. And then I was telling my other half that, listen, what's at the theater that we would want to go see right now? Like,
actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because September, I wonder, that's a wonderful month. But September, there's going to be a movie. Hint, hint. September is going to be the movie screening of The Woman King with Viola Davis, and that movie I'm definitely going to see. And that's
but it's not released enough for this Saturday. Okay, right.
If you ask me what movies are coming, that's the one I definitely.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Right. And then I know Wakanda is coming back. Wakanda is coming back. The Black Panther, because I saw the trailer for that last week. I definitely want to see part 2 and how it all end up. But no, as far as this weekend, would there be anything I want to go see? No, not necessarily.
No. That's why you have streaming services for.
Yes, that's true. And I'm getting ready to get rid of some of them. Right. Because, girl, I don't watch all that stuff. I don't watch all that. So, that's how it all goes. You're
just a busy guy, and that's a good thing. Busy is good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, we'll continue forward.
Wait. Now, you sent me this story on Instagram, only in the hood. These 2 little babies, kids, typically when kids have pets, you're thinking a dog, you're thinking a cat, y'all. But these 2 little kids had a raccoon. And they were, I couldn't believe it. When I first saw it, I'm like, is that what I think it was?
Yes.
A raccoon.
So do we know what city that was in or where that was?
I wish I knew, because I was going to ask you. I said, I don't know what city that's in, but there's no way on God's green or other earth that I would be picking up a raccoon. Now, I have a raccoon story.
Well, let me set this story up so that people are able to follow along with us. There's a video that is out on social media of 3 little children. 2 of the children are playing with baby raccoons. I mean, they got them on their hip. They got them holding them like a baby. They rubbing them, petting them. I don't know if they're talking to a police officer or if they just talking to somebody, but the man is trying to say to them, where the hell did you get these baby pet raccoons? B, do you realize when the mama finds y'all and y'all got her babies, she gonna go crazy on y'all. And then third of all, please, Jesus, understand that raccoons carry rabies.
Exactly.
They carry rabies.
You can die.
You can die. And baby, they just playing with it. The man even said, what have you all been feeding it? Right. He even told them to back up, get away from him. They said, we've been feeding them cat food. They've been eating cat food. They just love it. And I mean, and here's the crazy piece. The little baby raccoons are acting like, babies. Yes, like hug me, hold me, all that. Okay. Yeah. When I saw that, I said, child, what in the world is this that you all would be playing with baby raccoons? And yes.
I couldn't, because I mean, again, raccoons are nothing to mess with. Case in point, all y'all know I live in Chicago, live in the city. I never would really expect to see raccoons in the city. This was I was maybe, maybe in my early 20s. And I happened to see a raccoon come up to my porch. You've been to my house, Art, so you can understand. And I didn't know any, but I fed it. And my mother said, my mom was living at the time, don't be feeding the damn raccoons. And my mother, when she cursed like that, it's serious. So I said, Mom, what can happen? Do you know the next morning, the family was waiting and one knocking on the damn door? I couldn't believe it. I was like,
yes.
My father had to do something to get rid of them so they wouldn't come back. Don't be feeding the damn raccoon.
I have a friend who actually had a hole in their roof, and a family of raccoons had moved into their house, had been living up there for quite a while. And the only way they found out that the raccoons were in the house with them is that they got up one day and one of the raccoons walked past. Then the next thing you know, a baby had walked past. They had gotten in somehow into their house. At first, it was just the attic, but now they had gotten into their regular quarters, and they had to get them out of there. And then I'm just like Marguerite, over here where I live at, I will never forget this. This is my raccoon story, and this was in the last few years. In my bathroom, I'm using the bathroom, and I look out, and I see we have floodlights in the back of my place. So, a floodlight magnifies anything. I see something like this, and it's just walking in the backyard, and it was huge because of the floodlight, the shadow. And that's all I saw. And I said, oh, hell no. I closed that bathroom window, and I said, oh, no. Oh, that is scared me to death. So, yes, she's right. We do have a lot of raccoons and possums over here.
And it's funny you mentioned, my roof last year when it crashed, right? When now I'm getting it fixed, the people who cleaned my my roof, they were like, you had raccoons here because they had raccoon feces. I said, oh Lord,
feces, right?
Yes, Lord. So it just, I don't. That's why when you sent me that story, Art, I had to look at it twice. I said maybe he's pranking. Maybe he's punking me.
No,
then I had to look and make sure it was raccoons, and they were holding it like it was a baby. And the raccoons,
oh, absolutely,
hold me. I'm like, what?
Right. So if you guys get a chance, go online, Google kids with raccoon. The video will blow your mind. I just hope nothing has happened. I would love to see what are the end results of it. And the little girl, you could just tell she tough as she want to be, because baby, she was standing there looking like, what? This my baby. Don't you? Ain't it cute? Ain't it? And I'm thinking to myself, girl, you got a wild critter in your hand. And then the little brother come up with a wild critter hanging off of him. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Are you kidding me? Yes. So
I was just like, long as they can stay on the other side of the tracks, that's fine with me. Don't come on my side. That's all.
My grandfather, when I was a little boy, he used to take care of squirrels like that. And so one day my grandfather got sick, couldn't feed the squirrel. Baby, when my grandfather came back out and the squirrels realized it was him, they attacked him. Right. He had been feeding them, taking care of them, all of that kind of stuff. And he got sick and had disappeared or whatever. And then when he came back out, like they had sat him on the porch or whatever, convalescing. And honey, them squirrels got his ass. They got him. Yeah. Right. They didn't bite him or whatever, but they attacked him and thinking he had something for him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my, see?
Yeah. Yeah. You go, Debbie. Honey, those street kids are fat. Debbie, don't play. That's the same thing I said, Debbie. I said the same thing too. I said, honey, LaQuinta and LaQuinta and them, they fine, baby. They don't, right. She said, them street kids are fine. Yeah, right. That's the same thing I said, because no, I don't play.
Let's see if the mama comes, see how fine they are then. That's all I got to say.
Right, right. And then here go Debbie talking about Michael Jackson being right. Debbie, we're gonna put you on timeout. We're gonna put you on timeout. All right, what's the next news story we got? That's
Oh,
what
Lord.
Michael Jackson being
Well,
right.
it's not a good segue, but given the fact we knew earlier in the Oscar season the slap that heard around the world. Well, apparently, the Academy Award Motion Picture Arts and Sciences wanted to extend an offer to Chris Rock to host the 2023 Oscars. And you know what he said? Hell to the no. I don't think so.
Right.
He still has PTSD. He's like, I'm not, no,
Yes.
thank you. No.
And he's been offered a Super Bowl commercial that he turned down as well, too. So, here's the deal.
He may have PS, and I don't mean to be funny, but he truly may have PTSD.
He could, or better yet, will you milk this out enough that, i.e., if it turns into a lawsuit, or i.e., does it turn into a diagnosis, as you said, mental, PTSD? Does it turn into I've been having nightmares, bad dream? I mean, you just never know. Or is he just strategically playing this to be able to go for the highest bidder? Because again, you've turned down the honor of hosting a major award show. You've turned down a Super Bowl commercial. So people going to still try to offer him bigger and better things to do.
Again, it could be a combination of both. But because he's hosted the Oscars before, it's not like this has been his first time. But I think the Academy wanted to extend an olive branch to say, you know what, we are really sorry that you experienced that. Let us make it up to you. He won't be back. We banned him for 10 years. And we're talking about, as most of you know, Will Smith. Chris is like, I don't want nothing to do with y'all. So he may not come back to the Academy for 10 years, who knows? But, my thing is this, two Black actors, I'm hoping at some point, realistically, and I'm being serious about this, that the two of them can come together to have just a one-on-one, private, real conversation. Will that happen? Who knows? But I think they should have that.
Here's the deal. If you and I have been friends all these years that we've been friends, something like that happened and we did not bridge that gap right then, immediately after it happened, then to me, it's pointless, because it'll almost be a year since that slap was heard around the world. Or has it been a year now? No, not quite.
It's been over 6 months, yes.
Okay. So, and then the last time Will Smith was on TV kind of talking about, what happened, and his generic publicist created statement that he kind of half-baked delivered. I don't get it, because here's the deal. If you truly sorry, you apologize right away. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should have done things differently. I was out of my head. I had too many gin and tonics, whatever the case may be. You come up with that excuse right away if you are truly trying to save that relationship.
Well, as I said, if it doesn't happen, then at least at some point, well, one, I can tell you, they probably will never work together ever again.
Oh, no. No,
if they had the opportunity, they won't.
Right.
Hopefully, they can be cordial going forward. But stranger things have happened. All right, but I just I'm hoping that if he truly has PTSD, that he will get the help that he needs so he can have a better life, emotional life, because he has daughters. You know what I'm saying? He has children. So, for their sake, if not, just get it together and get you some help if you truly need it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on. What else do you have in news?
You sent me this photo, and I guess we could talk about it. Apparently, Madge, for those who don't know, I'm talking about Madge, better known as Madonna. Her new boo thing, she's 64? And she's dating a 23-year-old something.
Even I think that's too damn much. And this is coming from a man who's in an older, younger situation. But I just think 64 years old and he 23, First of all, he's got to come from money or means, unless Madge or Madonna is just one hellified sugar mama. Now, if she a hellified sugar mama, that's a different story. In my situation, you got to toe your weight. I got to toe my weight. And this has got to be a decision that you make, that you want to be with me. And I got to figure out how it works. I think in my situation, the negotiation and the navigating has been incredible. It's been great. In her situation, I don't know. I'm curious to see what the audience thinks about this. She's 64 and he is
23.
Yes.
23.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He looked like her child that she gave birth to.
Right. So what do you think?
You know, Madonna is a global brand. Sometimes we followed her career since she came out in the early 80s. Madonna likes shock value. She'll do anything for people just to talk about her. I think it's a publicity stunt, personally.
Right.
Now
I do too.
I do something like that? No, because you will never hear my name, K. Renee Cougar. That's not.
Well, you sure?
I'm very sure about that.
Okay. You are too funny. You are too never. Okay.
Have I dated a guy who was younger than mine? Yes, and that's why I said not at all.
Okay.
So I think she's doing this for shock value. I don't think, I found the love of my life. Oh, he's 23.
Okay.
No. And you might be right. Sugar mama, that I can see all day long.
Okay.
But say as a relationship, no.
Okay. All right. I'm just a little, I don't know, a 64 and he 23. And when you look at him, he just looks,
that could be her child. That's the thing. If he's trending like her, and again, I sense sugar mama, as you said earlier, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what she wants.
Right.
But I don't see, this is the love. This is my soulmate. No, I don't see that.
One night after a wild party, I'm just saying I haven't though. I get it, but I don't know. And then Marguerite said more power to Madonna. She said more power to Madonna. Okay.
I said now, and here's the thing too. If that is true, he better sign a prenup. That's all I got.
Madonna is trying to hold on to her youth. The only thing a 23-year-old can do for me is introduce me to his daddy or granddaddy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. When I saw the story, when I saw the picture, it was like, okay, let me think, because then this would be like the pot calling the kettle black. But mine is not as big of an age difference. And when I say to you, really, I'm with somebody who I feel is intellectual, driven, trying to do the right things, and trustworthy.
He cares about you. That's the thing about there's genuine affection it is reciprocal on both ends. The only thing, looking at that little boy, just say, "Mommy, let me suck my thumb." I'm telling you, I just don't. Women, we've advanced more than this. And Madonna, to me, she has daughters. You understand what I'm saying? You have to set an example. You want that was like her daughter Lourdes, who is maybe in her 20 or maybe 30. She's dating someone 90. How she feel about that?
Debbie said not judging Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher, because isn't there a tremendous age difference?
Now 40 years.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we'll see. Good
luck to Madonna.
I'm not hating.
But I just think, when you reach a certain season, we talk about seasons, right?
Right.
You want to be able at a certain, especially in her season. Now it's time to make a difference and make something contributory towards the planet, because she has that influence. She's a major influencer. Everybody knows who Madonna is. I don't care wherever you go in the world. So I just don't see it. I don't see her saying, "Oh, this 23-year-old little guy is the love of my life." Now I can
Mm-hmm.
understand when she was dealing with Sean Penn, he was a crazy son of a gun. He was crazy.
Right.
So, and again, Madonna's had some challenges growing up as well when it comes to men. So this is
Okay.
not unusual for her to do this, but I just think she's doing it for shock value.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, let's get some comments here. Never say never. Nadia, Debbie says never say never.
I would say
Not
definitely, just highly unlikely.
Nadia says, like I said, 5-10 years,
But
yes, but
not
not
40.
40.
Mm-mm.
And Debbie says, not in my plans, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I know you could have never told me in my particular situation this would have been how it would have been, but I do know, my mate's history, backstory, you get what I'm saying? So that's a whole
You
different, yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's why I mean Madonna has been known to be very impulsive.
right, yeah,
She has. She's done some impulsive stuff. And so
yeah,
to me, this is like maybe it's a publicity stunt. She's trying to promote something because you know how musicians and actors how they do stuff just to say, oh, about my new movie is coming out, or my new album is coming. I mean, it's just this is like Madonna.
yeah.
That's all
Okay.
I got to say. But
All
I'm not
right.
judging. It just is what it is.
All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this beautiful Tuesday evening. It is our Friday. The Real Chat Daddy Show will be going on vacation. We'll be back on Tuesday, September 13th. All new show, all new everything. We're taking a break to refresh, renew, line up all of our great guests so that we can go into the fall with some amazing people, topics, and conversations. We'll keep you guys posted on all the new happenings that'll be going on via social media before we get back to our September 13th date of the relaunch of another season of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Yay.
Yeah.
Debbie says, didn't know she was in a relationship with Prince.
Oh, I mean, okay, we're gonna say who wasn't Prince in a relationship with Prince? And see, Prince treated women like they were queens,
Oh,
seriously.
of course. Of
So
course.
I'm not surprised. I mean, she probably dated Michael Jackson for a quick second. Y'all
Oh,
remember
absolutely. Right.
they went on what was that award show they went together? So I'm not surprised, but
Did she date the black Michael Jackson or the white Michael Jackson?
you silly.
Girl, you know what I'm saying?
You
Light
silly.
skinned Michael Jackson or dark
It was
skinned Michael
he was
Jackson?
light
Which
skinned.
which Michael did you like better? Light skinned Michael Jackson or dark skinned Michael Jackson?
I like all Michael Jackson, but to me, when he was younger, but again, when he made that transitional change, you knew there were some other things that were going on in his life emotionally. So, but
Right.
you cannot never talk about the fact that he was just a great musician, and
He
it's
was.
amazing. He's been gone now since 2009. It's been such a
I
long
know.
time.
I know. Want to give a shout out to our good friend, Mr. Tony Metlin with the Chicago Bears. We love and appreciate Tony. He just jumped in on our
Woohoo!
broadcast. Hey, Tony, miss you. Glad you're here. Hope all is well. Tony's a great guy. He's a really wonderful man. He really, really is. All right. What else we have? Or did we come up to finally our grief conversation?
I think we have come up. Let's see. I'm looking at all the stuff here. Looking at mine. Make sure we covered everything. Now y'all remember July 26th, 29th, when that $1.3 billion ticket that was here in Illinois? Everybody wondered, well, how in the hell? How come nobody's claimed it yet? Well, duh, it's $1.3 billion. If I wanted to, I wouldn't be claiming it right away either, getting everything in line. What are your thoughts?
Well, I wouldn't be in any hurry to go get the money as well, too, because here in the state of Illinois, you do not have to come forward with that type of money. And then here's the deal. I would be getting my business in order. I would, you know what I'm saying? I'd be trying to get as many things legally taken care of. I'd be trying to see if I could change identity, address,
Yes,
get
and
rid
that
of
takes
things that I
time.
don't need anymore. Right. Mm-hmm.
And that takes time. So it's amazing how they keep reporting this. I'm like, if it were you, would you let everybody know?
No,
No.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would not.
Well, whoever won, take your time. You got a year from July. So, I pray that hopefully that you find the ticket, claim it,
Yeah.
then take care of your business. But,
Right. Right.
it
Yeah.
cracks me up how people are, well, I haven't seen anybody. No one has come forward. I wouldn't come forward.
Me neither. I wouldn't be in no hurry. I would definitely not be in any hurry. No. I'd play that by ear as long as I most possibly can.
And do you know, we were having some interesting weather yesterday from August 23rd till August 31st. 17 years ago. What happened, Art?
17 years ago. What now?
From August 23rd to August 31st. What happened 17 years ago that completely changed the southeastern part of the United States, primarily Louisiana?
Hurricane Katrina?
That is right.
Wow, you're kidding me.
Can you believe that? From August 23rd, thank you, Debbie, August 23rd, 2005 through August 31st, 2005. Hurricane Katrina came, saw, damaged, and went. And check this out. Now, here's some statistics. There were over 1,836 fatalities. The damage from Hurricane Katrina was $125 billion. With
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And the
Unbelievable.
areas that were affected during that time: the Bahamas, South Florida, Central Florida and the Florida Panhandle, Cuba, Louisiana, especially New Orleans, Mississippi, Alabama, most of the eastern United States, and eastern Canada.
Wow. That is incredible.
And most of those deaths were, unfortunately, from people of color.
Yes.
That was even the sad part. I mean, I think, and honestly, that's why a certain Bush, he wasn't reelected, because of that.
Right, that exactly.
Changed the trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And yes, you're right. There's a wonderful documentary by a Black filmmaker about Hurricane Katrina. So if you have HBO, I would encourage you to see it. But this
it really was
what's happening around the world, around our country, of all these natural disasters, flooding still in Mississippi. The torrential, the rain, the fires on the West Coast. It's not going to end. So, we say on this show all the time, y'all better just stay prayerful, stay prayed up.
Absolutely. Well, I want to go back to Jackson, Mississippi, if I could. They had torrential rains over the weekend. Now their infrastructure has given way and their pipes have busted and their people are without water. So let's keep Jackson, Mississippi in our thoughts and prayers. I just said that I'm going tomorrow to go buy me some more water to stock up here at the house, because there's going to be a shortage of water, because they need to, if I'm not mistaken, I thought they said 180,000 people are without water in Jackson, Mississippi, or households are without water. So, or very low water. And Debbie's right. This is the beginning of hurricane season. This is only the beginning of what possibly could be, a huge problem. Nadia says, you have lots of hurricanes in America. Yes, we do. Yes. We do. Same way in Dixmoor, Illinois. They have no water as well, too. No, they do not. So let's keep all these people in our prayers. Water is essential. And, I can see water prices, because they have gone up quite a bit. as well as I can see, there now probably being a shortage of water because we need to get all this water to these people in Louisiana, in Mississippi, down in the Jackson area. Yes. All right. Well, Kay Renee, thank you for bringing up the fact that 17 years ago, we went through Hurricane Katrina. If you could, please give us the death that has recently happened. And then I want to go into my conversation about people dealing with grief.
Well, as you know, I mentioned last night, talk about dealing with grief. I'm dealing with it currently with a family member, but an international news, for those of you who know the name, if I may not be able to say it correctly, but former Soviet president Mikhail Gorbachev, say that fast 10 times. He took down the Iron Curtain. To me, I think he was the last decent Soviet leader, because you know who they have now. Unfortunately, Mikhail Gorbachev has transitioned at the age of 91. I know they've probably been saying it all over the news, and he really changed Russia, as we know it. But, he was a decent leader, not like the one they have now. But he went through a lot of presidents, U.S. presidents, as we know. And I remember there was a saying that a certain president, he was an actor, became president. Ronald Reagan said, Gorbachev, what did he say? Tear down these walls. Yes. That was Ronald Reagan saying that, because him and Reagan were able to negotiate successfully. And, as we know it, Russia, he changed the there was no more of the Cold War. So now was that a map on his head? I every time when I saw photos of him, Debbie, he had some type of discoloration of
that was a birthmark. I think it was probably a birthmark, a birth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know some people that have birthmarks like that. Yeah, it could be a birthmark, or it could be a pigmentation eruption that happened and he bled underneath, but it's that type of thing. But yes, he did have that mark up on the top of his head. Yes.
Yes. And then apparently he died of a prolonged illness. And so, he was 91. He lived a full life, and he definitely changed Russia as we know it. So,
yes.
It's our prayers go to his family, because that's a life that's lost. And now that you talk about what today is National Grief Awareness Day, and people wonder, when you do lose a loved one, how do you move on from that? I mean, of course, for me personally, you got to deal with the initial shock, especially if it's someone that you really care about. And then you start thinking about, hopefully, if you've loved that individual and respected that individual, you think about the great memories that they have for you, but also you start to think about your own life. I know I can't speak for you, Art, but I know we've lost, among us, you and I, we've lost some dear people this year, and that we've loved and cherished. And it's just like you start thinking about, okay, how can I make a difference? Because the reality is this: we are all on borrowed time. And so you want to be able to make a difference to people that you care about, and some that you don't. You just want to, because we're here to serve. But because I know both of us have our parents are no longer with us, and that, as I said earlier, the initial shock it can be deafening. But also know that they will always be with you. They will never, they're just not in a body. So that's why I look at it as. And so, dealing with grief, I will tell you personally, for me, do I cry? Absolutely. Because as my cousin had said to me, he said, that's why God gives you tear ducts, so you can release that. And so if you don't cry, then that could be a deeper issue, because you've got to release the hurt, because there's hurt involved when you do lose a loved one. And so I think that I agree with that, Nadia. There are times when you may not want to cry in public. I know I'm that way, but I'll tell you, when my father had passed, and I remember it just as clear as I'm talking to you now, I snapped. because I know I needed to release that, because if I didn't, it would have manifested in a negative manner for me personally and emotionally. So there are just times when you need to cry. There's nothing wrong with crying, because
Right, right.
you're letting that anger, you're letting that pain out and just letting it go. Because when you can do that, that means people can be around you to be there for you, to comfort you.
Very good. That all, I get it. My heart goes out to you. To me, it's interesting how people process grief. In my particular case, losing my mother probably was the most traumatic thing ever. Losing my maternal grandmother, not so much, but it was, because she did raise me. It was tragic. I think my mom, because there were so many unanswered questions, and to this very day, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. My father's death did not faze me in any particular manner at all. It just, here's the thing though, what a lot of people don't understand, and I've kept this under wraps. I am involved in the funeral business. I work in the funeral business now, and I love it. I think it's the most therapeutic thing ever. I think that my being in the funeral business is my way of giving to other people and giving them what I felt I missed when my mother died. I felt a lot of times you've got to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it to people, because it can be a very trying time. I do not let grief consume me. The one thing that I try not to do, because I work in that particular industry, is talk about death all the time. There are people who continuously just talk about death, talk about death. That's all that they can think about. And to me, that's something that is a psychological cry for help almost. And no disrespect to people who do it, but there needs to be something that gives a greater joy than always consumed with that. And see, in the funeral business, you can't be, because that's the business. And I think that's what has helped me. This will be my second time in the funeral business, and I just love it. I think it's the most therapeutic thing ever. People are shocked as hell to see me at a funeral, working the funeral, because oftentimes people don't know it until I'm there, working the service, and they like, child, is that? And it is, kind of like Phaedra Parks from Atlanta Housewives. She became an undertaker and opened a funeral home. And that's my dream, is to open a funeral home as well, too. So, it does shock people, but it has helped me not to focus so much on death. It does happen. It's a part of life. It's the circle of life, but it's not something I try to talk about. I don't start off with that, because I know that's what I have to deal with. You get what I'm saying? And that's what people have to realize. Tomorrow will be the 25th anniversary of the death of Princess Diana, the Princess of Wales. As you guys all know, she was a British royal member, a member of the family. She was the first wife to Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales. He is the heir apparent to the British throne. He is the son of Queen Elizabeth, and Diana was the mother of Prince Harry and Prince William. She died August 31st, 1997 at a Paris hospital. She was born September 6, she was buried September 6, 1997. And I was going to ask you, do you remember where you were when you found out about Princess Diana's death? I'm going to share mine real quick. I was out to dinner with the late, great Allison Payne. And this is when people had Blackberries. Was the iPhone even out then? I don't, maybe not. I remember Allison saying, "Oh, shoot, there are reports coming in that Princess Diana has been in a crazy car accident." And she said, "Oh boy, this is going to consume the news for the next couple of days." And as we were finishing dinner and wrapping up or whatever, she started getting more messages. And I guess, by the time our evening was over, the princess had passed away in a Paris hospital. And so I will never forget that evening, because I was having dinner again with the late, great Allison Payne. What about you, and where were you?
I was right here in this house. I was married at the time, but I was up and talking to my mom, and my mom and I were transfixed on the TV. We were just watching the news reports, and my mom was like, "See, Renee, that's why I just want you to be careful driving." And it was just really. I remember I sat up. Mom and I were just talking about it, but I was here when this happened. When she had the accident, and subsequently had made her transition, and it was just the frenzy of it all with the paparazzi. It was just ridiculous. And I totally understand why Prince Harry is the way he is. I really do.
Yes. Nadia says, let me see what she says. I never knew my father, but when I was 4, I lost a brother, and my mother never explained why. It was difficult for me because she said only that he would not come back. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah, that's really sad. I'm so sorry to hear about that. And Rick says, awesome lady, Allison Payne. Yeah, she was. She was a good lady. She really, really was. Well, let's talk a little bit about grief. Grief is one of those words that we all know, and many find it difficult to describe because as a society, we've been conditioned not to talk about death or other losses outside the confines of a funeral or a memorial service. But in order for people to grieve healthily, or have a good sense of how you grieve, it's important to understand the concept itself. Grief is heavy and a hard subject to address. Debbie just said too painful. She's right about that. Here's some things that you can do to help you get over grief, because some people can be consumed with grief for so long that it takes the goodness out of them, and they don't realize that. I talk to people all the time who will call and say, so-and-so died back in 1988, and my life has just been a tailspin ever since. I get it, I understand, and I sympathize. But if you don't get a grip on the situation and the problem, you will miss out on all your joy, happiness, and what you need to do in life. And I think that's where a lot of people, and I'm not here to dictate to people about, what you should do. This is just some reports I read and advice that you give to people. You should spend time with people who care for you and understand you. Not everybody's going to understand the magnitude of your loss. Not everybody's going to understand that this is imperative, that needs to be talked about. Most people feel, oh wow, so sorry to hear that, let's move on. And again, normally funeral or memorial setting, after that nobody else says another word, which it can be hard. Another thing that people should do is think in cycles, not in lines. Yesterday was the anniversary of the day I laid my mother to rest. Once that day comes and goes, I'm good with it. The day my mother died, I acknowledge that. Come and go, I'm good with it. The first couple of years that my mother passed, it was the duplicating food that she made. Can I do this? Can I make it taste right? Things like that. But I'm one of those people that when I lose someone, and if they really love me and I love them, they will come back to me in a dream. Their spirit will come back to me and say, it's all right. I'm good. Go on about your business. Do what you need to do. Continue to grow. A lot of us have become stagnant because we can't, because we so caught up in that. And see, I know my heart really goes out to you being an only child. I can only imagine, but since my mother's death, I feel as if I'm an only child. So, it's a lot involved with that, and it takes time. Here's some comments that people are saying. Grief will change your life forever. Love and grief. I agree.
Completely.
Nadia said, yes, I totally agree. Oh, Lord, come through, therapist spirit. Yes. Yep. Marguerite says that's true. My sister and I, what's the next one? Referred to those dreams as a visit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. I couldn't agree with that.
We're all going that way. We are. That's why I told you, a lot of people go, you in the funeral business? And I go, yes. And they go, really? And I go, yeah. But then there are people that say to me, oh my God, this fits you perfectly because
It
of your
does.
spirit, your nature. Oh, I love it. I honestly love it.
Yes.
I really, really do. It gives me, it helps me to help other people with closure.
Right.
Then being the person that is the spectator and the person that is facilitating the funeral, you can tell a lot about how a person's life was lived. You can tell a lot about, when people get up there and give the 2-minute remarks, you learn a lot from them 2-minute
You
remarks.
do.
You,
You
you
do.
learn you learn a lot from the people who come to say
Yes.
goodbye to the particular
That's
person.
right.
You
That's
you learn
right.
a lot of different things because a lot of times you don't know the deceased. They don't tell you, like when you go to the ER, those people ask you, what is your name? What is your social security number? All that. When you come in deceased, I can't ask you nothing. All I can do is present you and make sure you either get to heaven or hell, whichever your final destination is. My goal is to get you to that spot by preparing you or making sure you're prepared and sent off in a fashionable and befitting manner.
Right.
So yes. All right, let's continue on with the tips. Consider seeking a therapist. Consider
Yes.
seeking a therapist.
And
If
I
you
did,
are,
and I did that
did
after my
you?
father. Oh yes, I mean,
Okay. And
and he
how
was.
was it helpful?
Here's the deal. After my father had passed, because see, in my case though, Art, my father was the last link. I had a nuclei family. My mom, my dad, my grandmother, and my maternal uncle. We all, because we lived very close together. When my father was the last link, and then of course, I lost my child. I was 9 weeks pregnant and didn't know it. And so I had losses very quickly within a 5-year period. And so again, you talked about in one of your tips, have people who really love you and support you. It was one of my sisters, whom Attorney Payne, my dear sweetie, big sister. She was like, Karen, I love you to life. You need to get some therapy. And I really, when she said it, I didn't get angry. I said, you're right. And so I, proceeded to get therapy. And it really helped me deal with the pain, because there is pain when, I don't care how progressive, I don't care how spiritual you are. When you lose someone that you dearly love, there's there's pain there, and you can't explain it. It just happens. For me, what has helped, honestly, because of my writing, I love to write. And so
Mhm,
I express my feelings through words. And
mhm.
so when anyone who's left me, who's now, in the ancestral realm, I can how and literally God speaks through me and how I write. And so that helps me. It's so therapeutic when I can do that. But do I cry? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I just cry. There are times I've cried privately. There are times I've shed tears publicly. And when I have shed tears, it's like for me to do it, then that person knows, okay, she's really hurting. I said, but I'm okay because I've got to release this. Because like you said earlier, if you don't, it will manifest in something different that you don't need. So you got to
Right.
let that go.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I go to the cemetery to visit my mother whenever I have to make a life-changing decision. So before
Mm,
any surgeries, before any legal matter, before any anything that is just a very pivotal point in my life, I go to the cemetery and talk to my mother. Now that I'm in the funeral business again, I drive the hearse, so I'm the last person. I'm that last driver.
mhm.
I look at how the person's services were, and I play music in the hearse while we go into the cemetery. Just telling the person, listen, your final going away was beautiful. People love you. It was beautiful. I appreciate being the person that is able to now take you to your final resting place, and God is, and that's the way I do that. You know what I'm saying? And it just brings me such peace, because no, I never really got closure in my mother's death. And so now I want to help other people get closure. I want to be the one that says, you know what, that last stage, that last moment, we know the body is not here. The body is here. The spirit is gone. Well, that body was celebrated. That body was put away beautifully. And that body has gone on to wherever it is. And at least I'm the person that says it went well. It was always well. Always well. So, you know, that's how that works. Let's get some of these comments here. Another thing that you guys need to do, if you are grieving quite a bit, get out the house. Get out the house. Find you something to do. Find you a hobby. There's a gentleman who I know who recently lost his brother. This gentleman is an amazing man, a dear friend of mine. And I talked to him. I told him, I said, when everything settles, all the smoke and dust is cleared, give me a call. And when he called, I said, okay, so what's going on? How you feel? And I just knew he was going to give me the woe is me, woe is me. He said, I signed up to be a substitute school teacher. I said, you did? I said, I'm so excited to hear that. I'm just excited because that'll give you something to get out of that house and go do. And he, first thing he said was, well, when I come home, it usually was my brother I talked to. Now I ain't going to have nobody to talk to. I said, oh, Lord, but at least you're taking the tiny steps of getting out of that house. Get out that house. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Debbie Green says, I hope you handle my body one day. Oh, I appreciate that, Debbie, but I hope you live a long time, girl. I hope you're right. I do. Let me see. 2010, whipped my butt with loss. I started therapy. I continue to see my therapist to this day. Yep. I have an amazing therapist now. I've had some great therapists, but my therapist now is really amazing. I think I blow my therapist's mind every time I see him, though. I just do. I think I do. Because you are a loving and giving person, you are able to read people and respond appropriately. Perfect fit for you, chat. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for that. I do. I love it. You appear to have respect, love, and care for the deceased. I do. I do my very best. I'm about pomps and circumstance too. So I love all of that. I love, yes. Let me see. Last time I got spooked at the cemetery. Girl, I don't go to the cemetery in the daytime. I only go in the
I don't do it now. We don't do it at night now.
I only go in the daytime, right. And honey, some of these cemeteries so damn dangerous now, it ain't even funny. Oh my God.
Oh, we give you a big hug, Nadia. We give you a hug, sweetie.
Oh, yeah, don't cry, Nadia. We appreciate you. Sun went away and it got cloudy. And I was the only living person. Oh, yeah. Well, you need it. Yeah. Get your, look, as they said, get your ass out the cemetery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Debbie says, I retired. Now I'm back to, okay. She back working again. Right. Yes. It's important. Right. It's important. You've got to do that. And then last but not least, we talked about the therapist. Last but not least, before we close out, we want everybody to be patient with yourself through the healing process.
Yes.
Be patient. This is nothing that happens overnight. No. This is something that you've got to take time. You know, people often say, well, how long does it take for me to get over this? Honey, it could take all of eternity.
That's right.
But you cannot let the grief consume you. That's the biggest problem. You cannot let the grief consume you. You cannot. And then you've got to have a level head when dealing with tragedy and grief. And a lot of times that's where I like to come in and say, hey, do you really want to do that? Do you think about it? You sure that's what you want to do? Okay, then let's look at it like this. So you make sure you have somebody around you that's a voice of reason to help you in a time like that. But yes.
Amen.
Yes. Rick says, I'm with Debbie Green, had to get out for my sanity. Oh, absolutely.
Without question.
Yes. Yes. She said, we're going into hibernation soon. So cozy. Yes, it's going to be cuddle buddy season. Yay!
And you see, Art has his cuddle buddy. I don't have one yet, but you know, it's still early. And you know, my birthday's coming up, so I may have a birthday wish. If I have a cake, I'll blow out the candles and think of having a cuddle buddy for the winter.
You're just going to blow out the candles on a cake? You're
It's
just
a
gonna blow
family
the candles
show.
out on the cake. It's still. I just asked. I said, "Are you just gonna blow the candles out on a cake?" That's all I said.
I
That's all I
am.
said. That's all I said. You're gonna blow the candles out on a cake. You're just gonna poof. Just gonna blow them. Right. Debbie Green said you gotta let your guard down. Yes, you got to.
You do, but you gotta be careful now. I got God gave us 6 senses, not 5. The other sense people don't use, so you gotta just be mindful.
Yes. Well, you do. All right. Well, with that being said, for those of you all that are going through grief situations, just know I understand. Kay Renee understands. We both have lost both our parents. Kay Renee, in her situation, is the only child. She recently just had another loss, and it's not easy. As I said before, my way of dealing with it is being a vessel to help other people during their time. And the most therapeutic thing ever is working in the funeral business for me. It's not for everybody, but it is for me. All right. Well, very good. What a wonderful conversation. What did Nadia say? Yeah, me too. Cake with cream and fresh fruit. Yes, I need that. Some comfort food. I do. I do. All right. Well, Kay Renee, what's our nugget of knowledge today?
And this nugget comes from someone that everyone knew. I was really sad when he made his transition on this date 6 years ago. Dr. Wayne Dyer. I had the privilege to interview him years ago, and I love this nugget. It's kind of apropos given what we've talked about. And he said, because today is Live Your Truth Tuesday, y'all. So he said, with everything that has happened to you, you can either feel sorry for yourself or treat what has happened as a gift. Everything is either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing, but you get to choose. And this is
I love that.
Live Your Truth Tuesday. # you always have the power to choose.
I love that. I do. For more information, go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. karensnuggetsofknowledge.com is where you can find her. That was excellent. That was really good advice. Yes,
Absolutely.
That was excellent. Lord have mercy. Debbie Green is a mess. Honey, like those kids with the raccoon.
Did you see the video, Debbie? That's all. You need to see
the video
first.
Baby. Right. They act like, baby, we got a unique pet. We got it. I heard on the news last night. I didn't figure out where it was, but there's a python on the loose. I didn't know what city it was, and they were saying, well, you really didn't have to worry because the python is probably somewhere coiled up because they don't really like to be bothered and all that. And really, until they hungry, they not going. Girl, that's what I said too. I said the same thing too. I said the same damn thing. Let a python be loose. Let a python be loose.
See, didn't you hear? I think it was a story in either Australia where somebody was using the bathroom and found a snake in the toilet. So
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm always careful before I sit down, right? And always,
you and me, Bobby,
right.
Looking at right.
Yeah,
okay,
me too. Look, and if it's the right situation, honey, that snake gonna turn around, right? That snake will be like, oh Lord, what is all this? Oh Lord, right? Please don't let it be out there and have my cup of coffee. Now that snake will be like, what the hell? My ass done ran up the wrong toilet. The mother raccoon will tell. Oh, I know. Yes, we know. And that's what that man in the video said. Y'all need to get
back up,
baby. Back up.
Getting close and close. He was like, back
baby.
up.
And I mean the little girl, like, you see my baby? You see my baby? Yeah. Girl, what is you doing? That's a pet raccoon. That's a baby raccoon. Well, Melda, we love you so very much. Have a beautiful night with Melda. Yes, we do. Yeah, she talking about, look at my baby. Look at Tiffany. She laughing too. Like, y'all see my baby?
When y'all see the video, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yes, please Google children and raccoon. Hopefully
That's
we'll
right.
be able to start showing videos on this show too,
Oh,
because
yes.
yeah, that was a hot mess, really. And
And
don't let your
your
children go
gas
potty alone.
right.
Oh yeah, definitely don't do that.
We heard what
Definitely
happened at
don't.
McDonald's downtown.
Yes,
See, that mother
yes.
needs to be knocked up.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Look, I told you I was a grown man before I stopped going to the bathroom with my mother.
I know that's right.
I was like, honey, I'm gay. I ain't trying to look at nothing up in here. I'm trying to make sure don't nobody get me.
Okay.
Right. I ain't
That's
trying to
right.
look at nothing up in here. Mama, you coming out? Mama, right. Mama, how long you gonna be in there? Come on out, mama. Let's go. She's like, boy, you old enough to get in the club now. Go to your own bathroom. Somebody might get me, mama.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, somebody might get me. Right. Yes, K. Renee, his book really helped. Thank you, God. Yes. Oh, our pleasure. Our
Dr.
pleasure.
Wayne Dyer, he was the bomb diggity, and I loved that interview. Was a wonderful interview. So I miss him too.
You know, if you guys are on TikTok, because Nadia, you're on TikTok.
Yes,
go to Dion Cole, comedian Dion Cole, Cole. The video is on his page from yesterday, because that's where I got the video from. Yep, go to Dion Cole on Instagram, you guys. He had the video. He did. It was a mess. Lord. If not, try to Google it. What did Rick say? Raccoons come with ticks and rats. Oh, we know. We know. That's what it right. Yeah, I ain't trying to mess
around. Them kids thought that was a live baby doll. I was like,
baby, they was happy. They was like, look at our pet. Look at our we ain't got right. Look at our pet. Look at our pet. Right, right. The rest of y'all got dogs and cats, honey. We got
I got a raccoon. Lord,
we was like, okay, ain't gonna work. All right, for more information on yours truly, please visit therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we will be on vacation until Tuesday, September 13th. We want you guys to all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Congratulations on everybody who's gone back to school, whether it's preschool, kindergarten, elementary, high school, college, continued education, grad school, all of that. Y'all doing the damn thing. And you parents are taking these young people to these really prestigious schools that I never in a million years thought I would be able to go to. That's just like when I was in Hawaii last year and met a young man who he's in the University of Hawaii, Honolulu, and he just black guy, just enjoying himself, aquamarine, all of that. You know, he's trying to learn all that. So we really do appreciate him. Debbie Green, we love you so very much. Thank you so much. Rick, Nadia, Marguerite, Tiffany, Miss Pam Morris, Imelda, Pam Morris Walton, we just love you as well. Let me go back to this page and give some people some shout outs. Crystal Allison, thank you, darling. Who else is here? Lydia Davis Edie, we appreciate you. Mr. Tony, we love you, sweetie. Tony, we appreciate you, sir. We do. We appreciate everybody who watches us. Let's see. Who else did we have here tonight before we run out? Oh, Ginger, we appreciate you.
Ginger, thank you, sweetie.
Tammy, we appreciate you. Let me see. Who else did we have here tonight? Okay, I think we got everybody. Marguerite, yep. We did it. All right, you guys, we love you all. We'll talk to you when we're back from vacation. That sounds good, doesn't it? Back from vacation.
And it will be, and it's still for those Virgos out there. Hey, happy early birthday, because you know what's happening on September 1st.
Because when is your birthday, darling?
922, y'all. And yes, I will be posting my Cash App. 922.
922. Very 922. Good. Very good. All right. Very good. Oh, we got new comments. Let me see what's going on here. Enjoy your break. Oh, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Ginger.
Yes. All right. Very good. Oh, congratulations. He going to Lima, Peru. Right. Bring us back some Lima beans.
Please do.
Yes. From Lima, Peru. And don't end up getting Lyme disease while you're in Lima, Peru.
Please
don't How about that? All right. We love you guys. We'll see you again. We appreciate you. Happy birthday month. Yes, happy birthday month. Happy birthday to all the Virgos. All right, we'll see you guys again on Tuesday, September 13th. Be well, be beautiful. We'll talk to you guys later. Rick said we are wild. Yeah, don't get.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, Rick? Because
bring us back some lima beans and don't get Lyme disease. How about that? And make sure you put a lime in the coconut and drink it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. Yes.
Righty then.
We out of here. Good night, y'all. See you September 13th. Bye.
Bye.
It's the real Chat Daddy Show.